Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Video number 5. Thank you for joining me once again. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about weight loss motivation, particularly the motivation right at the start of your weight loss journey. So you know the feeling when you've been eating really well, you've been grocery shopping, you've been meal prepping, you've been really conscious of what you're eating, you've been exercising, you've been drinking lots of water, you've been getting a good night's sleep, you've been doing everything under the sun, and it's been so hard and you've been doing it for so long and you're just not seeing a difference, and it's super frustrating. And then you realize, actually, it's only been 3 days. It just feels like a lot longer. So obviously you're not going to lose weight in 3 days. Not real weight. Sure, maybe some water weight, maybe some bloating, but not real sustainable weight loss in 3 days. And you know what? That's fine. That's fair. That's science. Even though it's totally to be expected, totally normal, everyone else on a weight loss journey has gone through the same thing, it can still be really hard to stay on the bandwagon. The important thing is that you stay on track, and the best way to stay on track is to feel motivated, to feel good, to feel like you're working towards something. So if we're right at the start of the journey, you can't see the kilos coming off, the scales aren't moving, you're still wearing the same clothes, you're starting to get frustrated, let's talk about ways to stay motivated at the early stages of your weight loss journey. And these are things that have really helped me, so I hope they help you too. Number 1. The first way to stay motivated at the early stage of a weight loss journey is to notice the little things. So for example, my energy levels over the last few weeks have been totally different. I don't get an afternoon slump, I feel way more upbeat, I feel more able to handle the day. And to be fair, this is not a direct result of weight loss. This is more so due to the fact that I've changed what I'm eating and fueling my body with, and changed my sedentary lifestyle to a slightly more active one. This feeling of having more energy is not necessarily exclusive to weight loss, because it is just linked to eating well and moving. But if you are on a weight loss journey, then it is probably going to be something you experience, an added perk. Another little change I've noticed has been my mental health, which has really improved. Obviously, I still have some, I guess, more challenging moments, even some more challenging days, and I don't think that I've reached the pinnacle of mental health improvement. I think that will continue improving throughout my journey, but even just a few weeks, and again, I think this is it is definitely linked to eating the right foods and moving and focusing a little bit more on my sleep and hydration, all those little changes that you make. It's not necessarily just for weight loss. So yeah, the mental health thing has been great. Another little change I've noticed is that the bloating around my tummy has gone down a lot. So even though I'm not necessarily a dress size smaller around my stomach, it definitely feels smaller. I've also noticed that my face is a bit slimmer, and it's a tiny change that only I can notice, but it helps, and it just shows that things are kind of ticking away in the background. Another thing I've noticed is that whilst I haven't dropped a dress size, and I'm not expecting to in 4 weeks, I have noticed that some of my clothes are feeling a bit different. They're fitting a bit differently. So there's this black dress that I have. I wear it to work sometimes, and I hadn't worn it for about a week and a half, and when I put it back on, it felt looser around the back, and that was really nice. It was like a little boost in my day to keep me on track. Another thing I've noticed is that my confidence has increased. I'm not physically any smaller, really, but just the fact that I'm on this journey, I'm prioritizing my health, I'm eating well, I'm moving. It's only been a few weeks, but my confidence has totally picked up. So on the weekend, we went to the Gold Coast to have a beach day. And I had my swimmers on. And I swam and I sunbathed with an umbrella and sunblock and a hat and sunglasses, and for a short time, but still I sunbathed. And I just moved around the beach, you know. I wasn't trying to hide under my towel or hide under my clothing. I really got out there and enjoyed it, and It was amazing, and it's not something I would have done a few weeks ago. So I'm in the same body, but I just feel a bit more differently about it. Tip number 2, the second way to stay motivated at the early stages of a weight loss journey. And this tip is to make yourself feel good. Associate the process of prioritizing your health or losing weight or whatever it may be with something else that's really working for you as well. And this might sound a bit vague, so let me give you an example. Personally, I noticed that my skin was looking a bit dull and dry and just average. I really wanted to get a better skincare routine. And my skin looks so much better, even after just a few weeks. I just noticed it's less red, less irritated, it's smoother, it's softer, it's less dry. It just looks better. It looks healthier. And that is like a real mood booster. So I start the day feeling a lot better. It's really helped with the motivation because it's helping me get that feel-good feeling that's not directly related to weight loss, especially at the start of a journey when you're not seeing the weight loss straight away. It almost kind of distracts you from that because you get a mood boost, you're feeling good about other things, and you just keep going. Now, I'm not saying you need to implement a new skin routine in order to have the same results. It could be anything. And it will probably be different to mine. So for example, it could be cutting back on alcohol. It could be increasing your water intake. It could be changing up your sleep routine. It could be revamping your wardrobe and getting some new items that make you feel good, make you feel more like yourself. Pieces of clothing that make you feel closer to the person that you want to be, which may sound dramatic, but it works. So whatever your thing is, whatever you want to change, whatever makes you feel good, do that at the same time as you start your weight loss journey. Not in an overwhelming way. We don't want too many goals to begin with, but something that you can work on alongside your weight loss or alongside your health journey. Tip number 3 for staying motivated on the early stages of a weight loss journey. Remember why you started. I know this seems obvious and I know it's everywhere, but it's really important. A big reason that I chose to lose weight was for my health. So that is a big motivator for me. I have been thinking about my cholesterol levels, my blood test results, my joints, my organs, my immune system, everything. I've been thinking about my health and remembering that that is a big reason why I started. Another big reason why I started was travel. My last trip to Europe was amazing, but my lack of fitness and my weight really got in the way of enjoying it to the full extent that I wanted to. And it absolutely got in the way of me doing all the activities that I wanted to do. And I never want that to happen again. So remember that yes, you're working really hard, but it is delayed gratification. We will see results eventually, but it's so important to stick with it, to stay in the game. Remember, this is a whole health and lifestyle overhaul. This is not a quick fix. So we can't expect to see results straight away. Number 4, set realistic goals. There's no quicker way to become unmotivated than setting goals up here when really you need to be aiming here. Because when you don't meet those goals, you feel like a failure and you just stop altogether. You give up. Don't go from 0 to 100. Don't go from a really sedentary lifestyle to booking in 6 spin classes a week and then being disappointed and surprised when you don't go or you don't do it. Don't expect to be buying a new wardrobe within 3 weeks of starting a weight loss journey. It can be really exciting to think about the long-term goals, and that's fine. You should think about the long-term goals, but don't expect the long-term goals in the short term. Be realistic, be sustainable, take small, consistent steps instead of trying to take giant leaps and completely missing and then giving up. The 5th way to stay motivated at the early stage of a weight loss journey. Focus on the long term. Don't worry so much about what your results are going to be like in 1 week or 2 weeks. Start thinking 3 months, 6 months, a year. Think about how each decision affects each day and how that affects each week and what that is going to look like in the long term. Sometimes I find if you focus on those things and think about the short term, it's quite easy to slip back into a failure binge eating cycle because you do something wrong, you stuff up, which by the way, doesn't exist, but you can feel like you do. And then you think, well, I've ruined the week, so I'm just gonna wait till Monday. But you haven't ruined anything. If you've just driven through Macca's and you've ordered a lot of food for one person and you've eaten a lot of food for one person and you feel gross and you feel, well, how Macca's makes you feel after it sinks in. It's delicious, but it never makes you feel great. I digress. Is that meal going to impact your weight in 6 months' time? No. Is it going to impact your weight in 3 months' time? No. So don't worry about that meal, because if you do, you'll get caught up, you'll think you failed, you'll give up, you'll go back to binging for 3 weeks. And you know what will affect your weight in 3 months' time? That 3 weeks of binging. Those individual meals don't ruin anything, and they are a blip on the radar in terms of your long-term goals. So when you eat a meal like that, as long as you're not doing it every night or too often, don't worry about it. Eat it, enjoy it, move on, because it has no role to play in your body in 6 months' time. So guys, there are obviously lots of ways that you can stay motivated at any point in a weight loss journey. And if you've got any other ideas, please feel free to comment below. These are just the ones that have stood out to me over the last few weeks. And as my health journey progresses, I'm sure I'll have way more tips to share with you guys as well. Here we are again, guys. Deja vu. No longer in my nice black dress. I'm in my activewear clothes. I just finished a walk after work because the battery cut out last night while I was filming. I'm not very good at this. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Oh, and to quickly add, my goals for next week are changing. So maintaining nutrition, but going to step up to 4 walks a week, 4 walks at 30 minutes, and gonna maintain the psyllium husk and maintain the water. So really the only thing that's changing is that I'm introducing an extra walk per week, but that's fine. Okay, final point. Yesterday while I was filming the bulk of this video, I was just struggling. I was really struggling. I was feeling quite anxious and I was getting my words stuffed up and I just couldn't articulate what I wanted to say. And I was getting really frustrated and I was really angry at the time. But then when I looked back on those videos, it's actually pretty funny. So if you feel like watching a blooper reel of me trying to do the most basic thing and just talk, then watch on. You know what, you're fucking killing me. And being, why? On what the okay, I can't. That's gonna be a real problem. That coffee was a bad idea.